Hi guys, this is Jennifer from the lineup. I'm here at the Merchants House Museum in New York City. It's known as the most haunted house in New York City, and we are doing a paranormal investigation as part of National Ghost Hunting Day. So teams from all over the world actually are going to be investigating at the same time with us, starting at 10 p.m., which is very soon. So I'm here with Dan, who has investigated the Merchants House before. So let's talk to him about it. Hi, Dan.
Hi. My name is Dan Sturgis, paranormal investigator here in New York City, and have been investigating the Merchant's House here for 9 years. I've done 48 investigations, and we've gotten great information on 22 of those investigations, which is a little less than 50%, but way higher than sort of the average normal investigation protocol somebody would come across. Merchant's House is a real unique location in that only one family has lived here. Beginning in the Treadwell family moved in 1832, and the last member of the family, Gertrude, was born in 1840 in the room right below us. And she died in 1933 in the same bed she was born in right below us. So the entire time this house was occupied by a family, it was by Gertrude has lived here. It's by the same family, the Treadwell family, like I mentioned. After she passed away, they locked up the house for a couple of years, and a relative of Gertrude, a second cousin, his name was George Chapman, he bought the house and decided to make it a museum of 19th century living, this was in 1935, which is like us doing a museum of the 2000s. Okay, and anyway, it's a great house. It's been active. I've been here with psychic mediums who have gotten names, dates, addresses that have all checked out with the New York Historical Society, with their census surveys. If there's a haunted house, if there is such thing as ghosts, and if there is such thing as a haunted house, Merchant's House is the real deal.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So we are now going to be starting, so we'll join the rest of the group here.
Okay, so do we do the invocation up here? Yes. Okay. So let's all gather together. Why don't we go to the end of the hallway so we can all stand together? Okay, all the members of the team. Dan, you'd like to join us over here?
Yeah, what are we doing?
We're going to do an invocation.
Okay.
Ready, everyone? Please repeat after me. We gather together in many places but as one to establish a bridge of communication with a higher level of existence. We come forward with positive intentions. We release ourselves of all fear and anxiety, and ask for the protection of the higher beings of light. We are united in the pursuit of this common goal, and humbly ask that our queries be answered. And so it is.
Amen. We ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Jesse, you want to lead the way?
Where do you want to start?
I want to start in that bedroom.
Lead the way, brother.
What I move this so no one becomes an addition to the haunting of this place.
That was me. I beat.
No, but who picked that passage? You did?
No, the people from the association.
I think everybody's doing it.
Higher beings of life.
Higher beings.
That is very,
Here, let me see.
You might know. There has to be. You know that, Ken. I forgot how. Is there a tape or a card?
getting a fluctuation on the K2 over this pillow.
What do you have?
I'm getting a slight fluctuation in the magnetic field over this pillow. Come back.
Here, you wanna try this?
No, I'm good with this.
So I was in this room here a little while ago before you guys are here. I always like to get a sense of rooms by myself. And as I was in this room here, it was such an impressive, darker feeling, a much heavier feeling. And I had heard like a name that starts with an H, which I had thought was Herschel, but it just starts with an H. But the feeling in here was very heavy, and it had a different smell in here that was so much different than anyone else. Besides that room over there, which was much lighter, this is much heavier than here. So Don, would you like to do an EVP question session here?
Yeah. I just want to run a natural EVP. Dan said that one thing about this place is the natural is the most activity he gets is from the naturals. Now, you said, could I use the top of the?
I would put it outside so it doesn't pick us up.
That chair is freezing on.
Yeah,
That sound is heater right now?
I say,
The K2,
I mean, they're here,
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
see
letting you
the
know
picture?
they're just here.
the first line is flat line for an electromagnetic field. For that to go to the second or third or whatever level of electromagnetic field indicates some type of activity.
So they're here, I mean, I'm just letting you know that they're there.
Right, this house, the wiring in this house would not be conducive to creating that. And we're just going up to third level just now, on the K2.
Did you? On the bed itself?
On the pillow, I put it by the pillow because that's where I protected it before. It's going to the RF level now, which is about 3 milligauss.
So the reason why I wanted to conduct an EVP session with Dominic now at this point is that when I came in here and they called me in here, when they started talking about this H name with this heavy feeling, it was based on what I had as a feeling on what I call really the second floor, which is down over here on the landing. And I would love us to do it EVP if you can run, because the K meter's going crazy because they're here. So I think that we can definitely get some activity.
All right, here are the questions, if anyone would like to read them. I have the questions.
You were the voice, sir.
Okay.
You were the voice.
Let me get my recorder on the back here. Dom, do you have your recorder going?
I have mine. I have mine.
Okay, great. What would just use yours?
can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Somebody, at least one person should hold a recorder, because most of the EVP I collect here are from recorders that are people holding.
Okay.
I'm holding. Hold.
Perfect.
All right. We're beginning now. Everybody
Hold
stand
on
still.
1 second. Wait 1 second. 1 second. Okay.
Don't
now.
whisper.
What do we look like to you? There's an extraneous voice coming from outside in case anyone picks that up.
Yeah, they're all voices. And creaking.
How do you experience time?
Again, there's too much noise coming from outside.
As I read the questions, you can all join me in your minds thinking of what I'm asking to reinforce the question. Let's do that again. How do you experience time?
I want to interrupt you. There's a person here right now who just came in that has like a blanket over their head to be like funny. So I want to let you know we have a different energy that just entered into this room right now.
Well, and I don't know, I mean, to me, I kind of feel like if we talk to spirit, we should probably talk to them the way we talk to each other and make it more like, I think if we wanted to really ask, we would just come out and be like, can you see us? If you can see us, can you describe what we look like to you?
There's one more protocol question that we have to ask, so we have to ask the protocol
Well,
question.
we don't have to ask them in order.
How can we improve contact?
I would also go around and everybody say their name. This way, if we do catch something, I can send it out to some people who can verify that if we do catch a voice, that it's anomalous to anybody that was asking questions in the room. So I'll start. My name is Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Hi. Somebody else has got to say their
I'm
name.
Dom.
Everybody in the room's got to say their name.
I'm Jesse.
You have to go back to Liza, because everybody has to say their name.
I'm Eliza.
Eliza.
I'm Matthew.
I'm Constance.
I'm Victor.
I'm Gilberto.
I'm Marie.
I'm Jennifer.
Okay, now we can ask questions the way we would speak to each other.
Okay.
Clinton or Trump? Is there a message that you would like to give us?
Do you think Dan Sturgis is sexy? I figured they see Dan all the time.
Jesse,
You know, we're in Seabury's room, so I think a good question at the moment would be Seabury, Mr. Treadwell. What do you think about us being pretty close to having a female president?
Yeah, that's true.
Great question.
What should you do? You have any opinion of us having a black president? And Mr. Treadwell, we also share a pretty significant date. Can you tell me that date?
I just want to let you know that it's weird that it's just, I keep getting a pointer in there, so we're going to get some more activity here, but they're also pointing into there. So if we want to, when we finish this EVP section, that's the direction they're telling me to go.
Jesse, when you say they, who's they?
I think there's a couple people here.
Can you describe?
There's a man who's got a sheet over his head,
Okay.
who's playing around.
Do you get any age? Do you get anything specific?
Well, the
about
guy
it?
has a sheet over his head, so I can't see him in particular, so he just showed me as a vision. I feel like 2 female presence for me are also associated with this, but they're not coming forward yet for me, though I'm aware of them. But definitely the male presence is what's here, but just keep showing me an arrow now to there, so.
Can you communicate with the male presence and see if he's?
I like,
somehow?
it's an H with, I'd like to even say, whoever's of the H name, please come forward. And as we look at this K meter here on the bed, can you please start to make it go higher and show us that you can move the energy around?
There's also a natural trifield meter in the hallway. It would be really cool if you could make that make a sound.
Yeah, you can stand next to the little blue box in the hallway.
Yeah, we love that blue box.
Hundreds of times here.
Yeah, and according to Dan, you like that blue box. Like you're okay with going over to it and waving your hand. Just so you know, I'm very good friends with Dan.
They won't hold that against you.
So, no, but I'm saying though, like you know him, and so you should do the same for me, because you like him.
Mr. Treadwell, if it is your spirit, can you make that little light jump to the amber the way you did before? From the green to the amber. Can you do that for us? Almost, a little more. Go to the third one, the amber light, if you can, sir. From the green to the amber, please.
There's a subway going underneath it.
Right.
Mr. Treadwell, did you like planes? I keep seeing planes over and over again in my mind. Can you leave us an EVP to talk about planes and propellers in particular for me?
Do you mind us all being in this room with you? What do you miss the most about being alive? I would think for me it would be pizza. I really like pizza.
Please do that again, Mr. Treadwell.
But what was your favorite?
Mr. Treadwell, did you ever hit your wife? Not judging.
No, no judging.
No, I'm getting a cold spot over here.
And the thermal light?
I'm just, oh, starting. I'm feeling cold over here.
Go over there, check the temperature. It is cold. None of the windows are open, right? I feel a breeze. I just felt a really cool breeze just come right by us.
No, there's no breeze. This is
It's right here.
ambient cold.
It's right here. You can feel it.
Very cold out.
Yeah,
It's like goosebump cold.
yeah. And the meter's going.
How cold?
You feel it.
All right, there is a draft coming in right here.
Oh, you got it.
Yep.
It wasn't here before though.
What's the temperature I get?
Yeah, that might
It's
be wind.
82.
Might be wind from
Meter's going.
Yeah, it's cold here.
Yeah, but there's no breeze.
It's just right there.
It's ambient.
It's not here, it's just right there.
Mr. Treadwell, did you like martinis?
Martinis, you said?
Martinis and drinking. Can you tell me why I continue to see alcohol and booze? Can you tell me who's buried together? Are your parents buried together? Are you showing me those? Together? Who's buried together? Can you tell me?
Is there air conditioning, or do I just feel like cold right here?
No, there's no air conditioning.
No, there's whole spots on this roof.
It's 181-year-old windows.
That's what I said, yeah. Well, no, I mean, they're drafty windows. They are drafty windows.
No, there's no
Yeah, but
breeze.
you didn't feel a breeze, it was just here,
Just there.
and there's no drop in temperature.
Mr. Treadwell, can you go to the third light now? Can you go to the third light? The amber light. That would be very nice if you could do that for us if you can. That's the green, so the green. Please go to the amber. This one, just to show us your presence. Thank you, a little more. A little more. Now, there's no type of wiring underneath here that means.
It's the cell phones.
The cell phones, why wouldn't it be constant if they're on top of them and separated?
Well, my experience with K2 meters, you're running live on Facebook right now. And then if somebody gets a text message, those K2s will pick it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
they do. Any type of signal in the air, they're gonna pick
Yeah.
up.
That's how the TV
Well,
shows.
that's why we're using the natural though, because that's one thing we know the natural won't pick up.
Oh, we just went up to amber.
mean, I'm a little on the fence with the K2 to begin with, because it's true, it picks up so many things that we're holding, that going by that, that's why if that natural was going off right now, I'd be impressed. I'm never impressed by any EMF detector.
Can we check that?
It was
Can someone-
mine.
Can someone check that?
Huh?
Can someone check the natural?
Would you hear it? Yeah,
No. Oh, you didn't have sound on it?
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
sounds all the way up.
That'd be-
There you go, there you go. Went to yellow.
And here's the old fashioned compass.
That's the best one to have.
I just want to see a compass spin around.
I'll go one step further.
Still going up to yellow.
Is anyone getting a text message right now? Is there any?
I got 3. Just turn it off.
Should we just turn our phones?
Probably would be a good idea.
Yeah, I think except for the phone that's recording, I think if we could all turn off our phones.
Yeah, and I'm not getting any text
Yeah, that-
I
messages.
have to keep mine on.
I have no friends.
Okay. Well then, I mean, unless you have to keep it on, but like, I don't really need to keep mine on.
Mine's off.
Mine's off.
Should I leave
Oh.
mine on?
No, you can leave
Longer
it on. You can leave it on.
comments?
You're far enough away. But that's when I've worked on a couple of the shows, and when they're using K2s and they want to get the K2s to work, you might check your walkie-talkie and set the K2s off.
See that they
Yeah.
shut off their
Yeah,
phone,
if you have a strong
and it's still
magnetic
going
field,
up
it's
into
gonna trip it.
the amps.
Remember, that's just saying that there's a
A field.
electromagnetic
Right.
field.
Right. We don't know the source of the field.
Right. Could be macro PK. You know?
Who's kicking out PK?
Hmm?
Who's kicking out PK?
Well, intention.
Okay, do we want to move to the next one?
Jesse? You wanna lead the way?
Yeah.
I know it works well here sometimes before we go. Let's all be quiet and not move. And we'll just, 10 seconds, we invite anybody in the room, any member of the Treadwell family, any member of any of our families that have passed over. We'll be quiet for 10 seconds, and if you want to get a message to us, this is the perfect time. It's a buzzing coming from the radiators, I think.
People outside.
All right, thank you very much.
I thought they said radiators.
Oh, I thought that they like left one of their devices out there.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay.
I don't think our radiators are on.
Just being devil's advocate, you know.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's what we need.
Tom, I just wanna tell you,
Just be very careful with the dresses.
Oh, yes.
Tom,
Those-
Yes.
I'm gonna leave this running and run upstairs for 1 second. I'll just put it right here.
I'll hold it for you.
Wait, what is it?
Yeah, the recorder, the sound.
You know, put something underneath that. There's too many people.
I'll sit.
Marie, let me hold it. I'll hold it.
I took a picture over there when you guys were upstairs. I'll show you the picture, I know that you guys
You
couldn't
have
see
the other
it.
thing in your hand.
But just to prove to you, there are no stains.
Oh, I
on
missed
the
that.
curtains.
Did you use a flash?
No flash.
Okay. Don't touch it. Well, that's the mirror.
So, I was in here earlier by myself down here, and I was taking pictures, and Dan came in on me, and I was showing some people upstairs. I don't use a flash on my camera at all. I never do. And as I took a picture over here, which is what called me in, over here in my picture, and I'll show you guys later, there was an anomaly of this line that was flowing right here, and it was like of a very light, like a powder blue light, I guess, a boyish, for me, boyish, you know, powder blue light was flowing over here, and I just want to show everybody that there was no stains on this fabric, which when I showed a couple person, they thought there was a stain. It's like, oh, the fabric stained, and that's why that came up as an anomaly. And I will let you know that there is none here, so that you guys can prove it right here. I don't believe that that will be a location where we're going to capture. It will be over here.
Now, I noticed there's stains on that mirror on the wall, and there's a phenomenon called matrices. Our minds want to organize things into shapes that we understand and recognize like faces. So if I were looking at that, I could think that perhaps there's a face there, but there's not. It's just the stains in the mirror.
All right, let's ask some questions. Now, we don't have to ask those questions. We could ask what we want now, right?
Yes.
Good, because we're gonna do it our way now. Okay. Now, if anybody is here and would like to speak to us, there are many of us here who have recorders in our hand. We're very nice people. We mean you no harm. We're very friendly, compassionate, happy people. But we are very curious, just like you may be curious of who we are. We're very curious of who you are. And if you could give us any sign, anything, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it be a visual sign, or an audio sign, or sound, or if you could make the blue meter in the hallway make a sound, that would be nice also.
There was somebody here that shares a name with a member of the family. Can you say that name? You heard it before. Mrs. Treadwell? That's voices outside. That sounds like a police car, PA system.
I will tell you that the energy that is here, it's like this big for me. It's like so small in my mind's eye instead of like a big person, like a smaller energy. And I feel that it goes back between here and there. There's a flow of back and here and forth. So for some reason I would love to say that this is going to stay here fixed and it's going to pick up, but I just think that whatever it is, it's moving back and forth, so it's like a fluctuating thing. So I don't know if it's going to pick up a lot, but I know that it's here. Whatever it is, it's here in this room.
Well, no matter where, if someone's here, we definitely want to communicate with you. We would definitely like to speak to you.
We have candy.
No, we don't actually have candy. Jesse's lying.
I have candy upstairs.
Well,
It's called Mentos, and it's a gum. And if you want a piece, you can take it from upstairs if you want.
Many people are curious if there truly is an afterlife.
I am not a psychic medium, but I'm empathic, and I'm detecting a sense of sadness right now. My eyes are starting to get watery, like I'm going to cry.
Are you sad? Is there a reason to be sad? Where'd that breath come from?
That's me.
Oh.
Whatever this is, it wants to play, and I'll tell you the reason why I saw like a crane, that when you want to grab and play those crane games, so I saw that happening. So whatever, it wants to play, so it wants to play. Want to play a game? Can you make that meter go up and down, or the meter outside? is it blue light?
Yeah, it's a blue meter.
If you hit the light and you go near it, it makes a sound. You want to play?
Sorry.
It's people stepping around, nothing.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna move this light.
That's me. Me again. Me again. No whispering.
Yeah, it only picks up alternating currents, and this is wired for.
That was Dan Sturgis whispering.
Me.
No,
Or Marie.
that was Marie whispering?
Me and him whispering.
No, no whispering. Whispering is bad. Speak loudly. Okay.
He's here, but it's just not playing.
I did it again. Turn my camera on. You know, I'm gonna do this without a camera for a second. Because sometimes if everybody else is filming or there's audio,
You wanna use my
you
camera?
don't need my camera. What?
Yeah, use my camera, it's charged.
No, that's okay. We have other cameras going.
But there's no.
And I have my actual audio camera in my pocket. I let that run instead. Sometimes spirits don't like to talk to video. We're gonna do.
You're right. This happened before.
Dan, this window here, who fell out this window?
You want that answer?
Who fell out this window?
As far as I know, nobody fell out the window.
Okay, why do they keep bringing me back to this window here?
Ask them.
Is it the window or is it the landing?
No, it's that window. There's something there that calls me. I don't know what it is. It's just something in that area that just keeps calling me over and over. Something happened there. I don't know what.
No whispering.
For some reason, I feel like if we all go to that landing, we'll get something like in that area.
Okay.
It just has to be in that area, though.
Let's go.
Dom, you ready? You wanna
Yeah.
move? I think this place is quiet, right? You know, like this.
Victor, remind me to play something for you later.
There's something at the landing.
Do you wanna open the window? Cause you can.
No. I wanna cry.
What is that?
This is a window. There's something.
Yeah, it's outside, right? It's outside.
So I just wanna let you know, there's something, whatever's going on, I wanna cry. So I feel the feelings of just wanting to cry right here. So it's just like, it's so strong here. And I know what was bothering me about this particular location since I got in here was the only thing that really got me going was this area here.
Do you pick up anything else other than,
No, it's just a single event here that really just brings it out.
Gilberto, could you go get the blue meter, the tri-field?
Yeah.
Dan, is there anything you know about this area right here? Was there anything since you?
You want the answer now? Because then everything you get after the answer is gonna.
It was
I
me.
know all I want is yes
Okay,
or no.
I'm gonna cut the feed for a minute and we're gonna restart it with another camera.
Nothing was